For my teaching style, I'd definitely say I'm very assertive, but also laid back at the same time, which can be kind of confusing. But um, I don't. I hate when teachers that teach younger grades like baby talk the students. I think it's ridiculous because I just think that they're not babies. They're first graders. They're 6-year-olds that are growing, and by you talking to them like a baby, it's just not gonna. It just makes them think that they're younger, and I don't think it's a normal thing. I think it's weird, but so in that case, I'm assertive when it comes to like discipline. Like when a student gets in trouble, I'm not like, oh, what did you do wrong, Joey? I'm more of a kind of person that says, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Go move your clip and sit down. I'm very straightforward with it. I'd be more laid back when it comes to like a warning, but for punishments, I'm pretty straightforward and stuff like that. But I'm also laid back because I am not gonna. I mean, of course, I'm gonna have classroom rules, but I want students to have fun because I feel like when I was little, I wasn't told that school was fun. I was told that school was like important, and I didn't have as much fun as I should have. So I feel like having like telling my kids to have fun while learning and teaching them that it can be fun is really important for me. So I'm definitely kind of laid back when it comes to that, I guess. My questions that I have for other teachers that always I kind of think about are like, of course, what are their like other different discipline or styles that they use? Besides, a lot of the teachers use like a clip system or move your like name to the warning or the red, or you know what I'm saying, like the different levels of discipline. And I didn't know if there's another. I just feel like every teacher does something like along those lines. So I didn't know if there's other ways to incorporate stuff like that. And another question I have is what does a teacher do if a whole class is behind? Going into my classroom at Riley, all of my students are below the level that they should be. I can tell that in kindergarten they were not at the correct levels, and the teacher didn't care because they just pushed them along. And now my teacher has to fill them in on the curriculum that they lack from kindergarten, and then they have to then she has to teach on top of that the first grade curriculum. So I don't understand like how a teacher can do that because it's so that's so much to teach, and I don't think it's fair because it's another teacher's job to teach them the stuff they're supposed to learn in kindergarten, and now it's become the first grade teacher's responsibility. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do if I ever get in that situation where my class is really behind like that. Another question I have is it easy for teachers to switch districts? Recently I thought of this question when we were asked about, in our blogs actually, one of the questions was compare two districts, like the district you grew up in compared to the district you're teaching in. And my district that I'm teaching in is extremely different from the one I grew up in. I actually went home and I babysit a kid who is in first grade in the district that I grew up in, and he's writing multiple page stories that have a problem and a solution, and he understands those concepts. My students in my first grade class that I'm in placement in can barely write. They just learn their alphabet. Some of them don't even know like their basic word wall words. None of them understand like comprehension is very hard for them. So it's very hard for me to understand how I would like switch districts if I were teaching in Fostoria and then to switch to Lakota, which is where I grew up, and how would I make that transition of teaching at a high or at a lower rate and in Fostoria and then moving to a district that's so much more advanced. I don't know how that would work out. So that's another question I have.